In physics, we have done Newton's laws of motion. Any doubt in Newton's laws of motion? Yes. Anyone has any doubt? Okay, so first point is work done by a constant force. In physics, we can deal with two type of force. Either the force is constant or it will be variable. Constant force is a force which will not change with respect to time. It will be same at any instant of time during the experiment. And variable force is a force which will change its value with respect to time or with respect to position. As time will pass, the magnitude of the force as well as direction of the force may change. Such type of forces are known as variable forces. So if you want to find out work done for any type of force or work done by any type of force, whether it is constant or it is variable, the formula will be work done W is equals to F vector dot S vector. In this formula, F vector is force, which is a vector quantity, which will have some specific direction. And S is displacement. Displacement is also a vector quantity. So here we have two vectors, F vector and S vector, and we are doing dot. If we do dot product of two vectors, we will get a scalar quantity. So work done is dot product of two vectors. That's why work done will be a scalar quantity. So first point will be about work done. It will be a scalar quantity. Second point about work done is that in a system, there may be different type of forces which will be present. So if you want to find out the work done by a specific force, you have to mention that force. So whenever there is a question about work done, there has to be a specific force due to which we want to calculate the work done. So work done will be calculated for a specific force. Work done, for example, let's say uh, there is a person who is carrying a box on his head, and let's say he's going in this direction. So what type of forces are present in this system if the person is moving on the road and a box is on his or her head? So what do you think, which forces will be present in this system? Yes, anyone? First of all, there will be mg force on box. अरे क्या प्रॉब्लम है भाई? So first of all, there will be a force of friction. And if you are looking for box, there will be a force of gravity mg. Now, there will be some another force, reaction force by the head of the person. So there are three different type of force present in the system. Now, if I want to calculate the work done, or if I say you find the work done, then this will be inappropriate to say the question in that form. If I want to find out the work done, I have to mention due to which force I want to calculate the work done. For example, a question may be like this: if there is a person who is moving on a straight road and he has a box on his head, find out the work done by force of gravity on the box. So in that case, we have box which is moving in this direction. So this displacement will be in this direction, and the force of gravity mg will be in this direction. This is 90 degree. If you will go by the formula f w is equals to f dot s, it will be f s cos theta, where theta is the angle between force and displacement. So in this example, angle theta between force and displacement is 90 degree, and cos 90 will be 0. So work done by the force of gravity on box will be 0. Work done by coolie is not 0, right? There are some misstatement about this example, that the work done in this process by coolie will be 0. It's not the coolie, it's a force of gravity which is doing no work here. If you are looking for the work done by the coolie, then you have to look at the system included with coolie. If you will look at the coolie, there are certain forces on the coolie: weight mg of the coolie downward, friction force fs, and displacement s in this direction. So due to this force mg on coolie, there will be no work done. But due to this force fs, there will be certain work done, because this is 180 degree. And in this case, it will be fs cos 180. Cos 180 is -1, so this will be minus f into s, which implies that coolie has to do some work against friction force, otherwise he cannot move. Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So what is the general formula for work done? General formula for work done is W is equals to F dot S, which can be written as Fs cos theta. In this formula, theta will be the angle between force and displacement. Second point, this force F in vector form may be variable force, or it may also be a constant force. Next point is, on the basis of theta, or the angle between force and displacement, we can have certain types of work which is given as nature of work done. If force and displacement are in the same direction, or angle between force and displacement is acute, that is angle theta is in between 0 to 90 degree, in that case work done will be positive. Second case is, if the angle between force and displacement is 0, sorry, if the angle between force and displacement is 90 degree, in that case work done will be 0, and we call it as 0 work done. There are lots of example of 0 work done. One example I already told you, in which we find out the work done by the force of gravity at the box on the head of a person. Second example may be of circular motion. Let's say there is an object which is moving on circular path with velocity v, and there is a centripetal force which will act at center or towards center. We know that the force and velocity vector v is always perpendicular in this case, and whatever will be the direction of velocity, same will be the direction of displacement. So in this case, again, angle between force and displacement is 90 degree, and in this case also work done will be 0. This is a good example in planetary motion also. In that case, sun will be at the center of a orbit, and Earth or other planets will revolve around Sun. In that case, gravitational force work as centripetal force. And again, this gravitational pull on the planet will be at 90 degree with the direction of displacement. And again, work done in this case will be zero, which means there will be no energy loss in the revolution when the planets are revolving around the sun, which implies that the total energy of that particular system will be constant. It will neither increase nor decrease. Are you getting it? Third case will be of negative work done. In that case, angle between the force and displacement given by theta will be greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, including 180 degree. In that case, work done will be negative, and negative work done is again given you in the last example, in which we have calculated work done by the friction force. So work done by the friction force in that example is an example of negative work done. So this complete concept indicates that work done can be negative, work done can be positive, work done can be zero. But work done is a scalar quantity, so we need not to worry about the direction. We just looking at the magnitude of work done and sign of the work done. Zero work done, positive work done, or negative work done. If the work done is positive, it indicates that force and displacement are acting at each other within the range of acute angle. If it is zero, angle has to be 90 degree, and if it is negative, then angle between the force and displacement vector will be obtuse angle, including 180 degree in that case. Understood? Understood, or any doubt?
Understood, sir.
Next concept is power. Power is the rate of doing work or rate of consumption of energy. Faster the rate of doing work, greater will be the power. Power indicates that in how much less time a person can perform a certain work or can consume the energy. If we have two person, person A and person B, person A complete a job in 3 hours and person B completes the same work in 5 hours. So we can clearly state that the power of person A is greater than power of person B. In term, when we are stating here the word power, it means the rate of doing work, who is doing the work at faster pace. That is what we mean by power here. And if we are looking in terms of energy, then rate of consumption of energy or rate of production of energy is also known as power. If we have two electric devices or two any other devices who can produce energy, one device produces 50 joule in 1 hour and another device produces 100 joule in 1 hour. So within the same time, we have two devices which are giving different amount of energy. So the device which is giving greater amount of energy in the same time will be having greater power. If we are looking for average power P average can be given as net work done divided by time interval, or you can also write it as energy divided by time t. If you are looking for instantaneous power P, we simply write it as dw by dt. There is an interesting formula of power which can be obtained from dw by dt. dw by dt is time derivative of work done, which will be d by dt of work done is F dot S. And let's say force F is constant, then this will be F dot ds by dt, which will be v vector, because S is displacement. Displacement by time will be velocity, or derivative of time derivative of displacement will be velocity. So we can also have this formula of power. Power P is equals to F dot V, which is very important formula. It is widely used to calculate the power. This formula of power will work if we are given information in terms of force and velocity of a particle or any system. power is again a scalar quantity, and if you are looking for its unit will be what? Work done can be taken in joule and time will be in seconds. So this will be joule per second. And joule per second is also known as 1 watt. So 1 watt is 1 joule per second. 1 watt is 1 joule per second. Understood or any doubt? Yes. Okay. Next point is energy. Energy is taken as ability to do work or capacity for doing work, and its SI unit is joule and its CGS unit is erg. There is a relation between joule and erg. 1 joule is equals to how much erg? Anyone? 1 joule is equals to how much erg? 1 joule is equals to 10 raised to power 7 erg, and 1 Newton is equals to 10 raised to power 5 dyne. You must remember it. 1 joule is equals to 10 raised to power 7 erg, and 1 Newton is equals to 10 raised to power 5 dyne. Next is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy has the formula half mv square. M is mass of the body, v is velocity of the body. And sometimes we also state it as, since kinetic energy is a scalar quantity, we need not to worry about the direction of velocity. We can simply state that kinetic energy will be the half of product of mass of the body and square of the speed of the body. That is half mv square. Next, we have work energy theorem. This is a very important concept in overall physics. Work energy theorem indicates that work done and energy consumption in a system are equivalent to each other. If there is a certain loss of energy, that energy can be converted into work done, and vice versa. So this theorem states that work done on a system by some external forces will be equals to the change in kinetic energy of the system. So work done W is equals to change in kinetic energy of the system delta K, that will be K final minus K initial. This is the statement of work energy theorem. Work energy theorem states that work done on a system by an external force or by a system of forces will be equal to the change in kinetic energy of the system. To be more precise, it's not just kinetic energy. It may be any different form of energy also, which means if you want to write it into a more elaborate way, it will be work done. Work done can be given as overall change in the energy of the system. So if there are certain changes in the energy of the system, it can be in terms of work done. Now in this statement, there may be kinetic energy as well as potential energy also. Potential energy is the energy which any object or body will possess due to its position and configuration. It is represented by U, and in the most simplest form, it is given as U equals to mgh. This is the formula for simplest possible formula for potential energy, U equals to mgh. Otherwise, for potential energy, we can also have potential energy U is equals to work done against or by a conservative force, that will be equals to integral f ds cos theta from position S1 to position S2. This will be the more general formula for potential energy, but again, it is not of any use for you. You just have to remember U equals to mgh. Collision. What is collision? Yes. Anyone? What is collision? In physics, collision means interaction. The word collision in dictionary sense or in literature, it may be like the two object or two bodies has to be in contact directly, or objects has to be in direct contact, then only we will consider it as collision. But in terms of physics, in the language of physics, collision is not about the direct physical contact of two objects. Collision means if we have two objects and these two objects can interact with each other, then they will affect the path of each other, and that affection or that effect is known as collision. So collision can take place when two objects will be directly in contact to each other, and collision can also take place when they are not directly in contact with each other, but they are affecting each other due to the interactive forces between them. There are two types of collision: elastic collision and inelastic collision. Elastic collision is a collision in which overall energy of the system, mostly we state it as kinetic energy of the system, will be constant. There will be no change in kinetic energy of the system, which means in elastic collision delta k is equals to 0. And on the other hand, linear momentum will be constant, which means there will be no change in linear momentum of the system. Delta p is 0, delta k is 0 for elastic collision. And in case of inelastic collision, delta p will be 0, which means linear momentum will be conserved, but we are not sure about the kinetic energy. In inelastic collision, kinetic energy delta k is not equals to 0. In inelastic collision, kinetic energy will change. So we have two types of collision: elastic collision and inelastic collision. What are the conditions for elastic collision and inelastic collision? Conditions are: for elastic collision, delta p is 0, which means overall linear momentum of the system will be conserved or constant. It will not be changing. Kinetic energy delta k is also 0, which again implies that overall energy of the system will be constant. It is not going to increase or decrease during the collision. On the other hand, in case of inelastic collision, linear momentum will definitely be conserved. Delta p will be 0, but delta k is not equals to 0, which means kinetic energy will change. In most of the cases, kinetic energy will decrease because some of the energy will be converted into heat energy in this case. There are certain examples for elastic collision, as collision between two glass balls. And inelastic collisions are the most of the collisions in our daily life are inelastic collisions. Understood or any doubt? Understood or any doubt? Okay. Am I going too fast? Or is it okay?
It is okay, sir.
Okay. Next question will be in terms of collision. There will be a specific collision, whether it is elastic or inelastic, and based on that collision, some of the parameters will be given to you and some of the unknown variable or values will be calculated. So if we have collision, I'm not going to say that you have to remember the formula. You just remember the two facts which I already told you, that in elastic collision delta p is 0, delta k is 0, and in case of inelastic delta p is 0 but delta k is not 0. We will just apply these two concepts and we will calculate whatever will be the needed according to the question. And if you are interested in remembering the formula, then there is a case for perfectly inelastic collision in one dimension, in which we have to find the final velocity. And the condition is, when perfectly inelastic bodies moving along the same line collide, they stick to each other. Let the mass of the two bodies be m1 and m2, and their velocities before collision is v1 and v2. And when they stick together, they have, because they stick together, obviously they will have the same velocity. So this common velocity is capital V. We have to find out this capital V. So we, first of all, we will apply delta P equals to 0, which states that P initial will be equals to P final, which means initial linear momentum of the system will be same as the final linear momentum of the system. In this concept or in this example, we have two part of the system, or we have two objects or balls in the system. One object with mass m1 and velocity v1, so this will have momentum m1 v1. Another one is with mass m2, velocity v2, so this will have linear momentum m2 v2. They are going into the same direction, which means direction of linear momentum will be same, which means you can simply add them. So this will be m1 v1 plus m2 v2. m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is what? This is initial linear momentum. m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is what? Initial linear momentum. And now we will go for the final linear momentum. What will be the final linear momentum? In the final case, after the collision, both the balls or objects stick together, which means now they will act as a single object with mass m1 plus m2. So after collision, we have an object with mass m1 plus m2 and it has certain velocity v. So what will be the linear momentum in this case? This will be m1 plus m2 times v. So this will be m1 plus m2 times v, and I am interested in velocity v. So this will be v equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 by m1 plus m2. Are you getting it how we are having this formula? Yes or no? Okay. Now we are interested in loss of kinetic energy, delta K. Because it is inelastic collision, then definitely there has to be some loss in the kinetic energy. And to know the loss in kinetic energy, we will find out initial kinetic energy and final kinetic energy. So before collision, we have two objects with mass m1 and m2, respectively velocities v1 and v2. So kinetic energy of the first object will be half m1 v1 square, and kinetic energy of the second ball or object will be half m2 v2 square. Since kinetic energy is a scalar quantity, so we need not to worry about the direction. These are just scalar quantities. We will just add them to know the overall kinetic energy of the system. So overall kinetic energy of the system before collision will be half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. This is K initial. This one is what? This is K initial. Now I will try to find out the kinetic energy after the collision, and that will be after collision we have an object with mass m1 plus m2 whose velocity is capital V. So after collision, final kinetic energy kf will be half m1 plus m2 times v square. This will be what? This will be K final. This will be K final. And now if you want to find out loss of kinetic energy, that will be K initial minus K final, or K final minus K initial. It doesn't matter. If you will write K initial minus K final, it will be positive. If you will write it as K final minus K initial, it will be negative. K final minus K initial turning negative indicates that energy is lost. So it doesn't matter how you will calculate the difference, K initial minus K final or K final minus K initial. Magnitude will be same, but sign will be different. So you have to understand the logic of sign. What does it mean by positive and what does it mean by negative? And on simplification, you will get the final result like this, but I'm not interested in result. Like if I am given with these data m1 v1 m2 v2, I can find out v numerical value. And if I know the numerical value, and I will just take the loss delta K numerical, like 30 minus 15 will be 15. That will be far more easier for me to calculate than remembering it in this form. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So the important point is delta P is 0 and delta K is not 0. And in one case, delta P as well as delta K is 0. We will just apply these conditions in numerical concepts, and we will calculate it then. Any doubt in it? Yes. Anyone has any doubt? Okay. What will be the answer of first question? Anyone? Answer for first question?
0.
0. When a body is moving in a circular orbit, work done will be 0, because again this is inappropriate, because you have to mention work done by centripetal force, or work done by whatever force you want to calculate. So when a body is moving in a circular orbit, what will be the work done by centripetal force? If it is centripetal force, then it will be guaranteed 0. Understood? Because in
Yes, sir.
circular orbit, centripetal force and the displacement vector will be perpendicular to each other, and net work done will be 0. Second question is, when a body moves with a constant speed along a circle, if it has constant speed, along a circle, what do you think? Which option is correct? Constant speed means its velocity remains constant. True or false?
True.
True.
Constant speed means its velocity remains constant. Is it true or false?
Is it true?
True. Think carefully. Constant speed means velocity remains constant. Is it correct or wrong? Okay. Let's take it in this way. This is the circular path. And right now the object is here with 5 meter per second. Then object is here with 5 meter per second. In this case, speed is constant 5 meter per second. Is the velocity constant?
Confused.
Is the velocity constant? No. Velocity is not constant, because velocity is a vector quantity. It has direction also. And in this case, direction is continuously changing. So constant speed does not imply constant velocity. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, if velocity is not constant, then what do you think? Option A will be correct or no? Option A. Option A is about acceleration. And it is saying that no acceleration is produced in the body when the body is moving with constant speed along a circle. So what do you think? There will be acceleration or no acceleration? Yes. No idea? Okay. If an object is moving on a circular path with constant speed, its velocity is not constant. Velocity is continuously changing in terms of direction. And if velocity is changing, whether it is due to the change in magnitude of the velocity or it is due to the change in direction of the velocity, acceleration is not going to be 0. Because according to Newton's laws of motion, any object cannot change its direction as well as its magnitude of velocity or speed by itself. There has to be some force which will do so, which means acceleration is not going to be 0. Option C, no work is done on it, and option D, no force act on the body. Again, the option is wrong, because centripetal force has to be there for the object to be on circular path. If there is no centripetal force, any object cannot move on the circular path without centripetal force. So most appropriate option will be option C. In this case, there will be no work done. No work done does not imply that there is no force in the system. Force is present, velocity is continuously changing, acceleration is also present, but net work done on the system will be 0. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what will be the answer for third question?
Option D, sir.
Third question is, what is F dot ds? F dot ds is work done. In this question, F is dark, ds is also dark. Dark letters represent vector in physics. So force vector dot displacement vector is work. Answer will be work. Question number 4. A man lifts 20 kg mass up to 2 meter. What will be the work done? I already told you work done will be equals to change in energy of the system, not just only kinetic energy, but also potential energy. So net work done in this case will be same as potential energy of the system at height 2 meter. And this will be 20 into 2 into 10 if we are taking it as G. So this will be how much? 400 joule. And there is no option with 400 joule. So answer will be none of these. Understood?
Yes, sir.
What will be the answer for question number 5? A 60 kg weight is dragged on a horizontal surface by a rope. If the coefficient of friction is mu, that is 0.5, and the angle of rope with surface is 60 degree, and g is 9.8 meter per second square, then work done. Interesting question. This is a object of 60 kg weight. This is horizontal direction, and we are dragging it at an angle of 60 degree. So this will be, if this is force F, this will be F cos 60. And this will be F sin 60. Right? If object is going in this direction, you can clearly see that this force and this direction is 90 degree, which means by this force there will be no work done. So it is of no use in calculation. Skip it. We will focus on this force. Now F cos 60, and we are not mentioned with force F that how much force we are applying while dragging by the rope. But it is given that coefficient of friction is 0.5 and the angle of rope with the surface is 60. So if you will find out if this is going in this direction, friction force will work in this direction. And friction force F is given by mu s n, which is mu s mg. So this will be mu s is how much? In this question, 0.5. Mass of the object is 60, g is 10. So I think this will be 5 into 60. That is how much? 300, I think. Am I right? Am I right? Yes or no?
Sir, G we have to take 9.8.
It's okay. We will manage that much. But displacement is also not given to us. And without displacement, I cannot find out the work. What about the displacement? A 60 kg weight is dragged on a horizontal surface by a rope. If coefficient of friction is this, the angle of rope with the surface is 60, and is this, then the work done. Any idea? How could you find out the displacement? Nothing is given to me. No velocity is given. सॉल्यूशन भी नहीं दे रखा। चलो बाद में देखते भाई से क्या मसला है इसमें, मुझे तो लगता है कुछ झोल है क्वेश्चन में। Question number 6. A horizontal force of 5 Newton is required to maintain a velocity of 2 meter per second for a block of 10 kg mass sliding over a rough surface. The work done by this force in 1 minute will be. Work done by this force in 1 minute will be. So F is 5 Newton and it is required to maintain a velocity of 2 meter per second. 10 kg mass sliding over a rough surface. The work done by this force in 1 minute. Power P is W by T. So work done will be power P into time T. Power P is given by F into V time T. F is 5 Newton. V is 2. Time is 1 minute. That is 60 seconds. So this will be 10 into 60, which means answer will be 600 joule. Are you getting it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, the fifth question is misprint. Its displacement is 2 meter.
2 meter. Displacement is
Yes, 2 meter.
2 meter. In that case,
Answer will be option A, 294.
okay. Force was how much? 0.5 into 60 into 10 and 2 meter displacement, right?
Yes, sir.
And if you will take in place of 10, this will be 9.8. If you will take 10, this will be how much? This will be 5. 5 into 2 into 60. This will be approximate 600, which means 588.
Sir, cos 60 degree.
Cos 60 degree will not come into the action because in the system, this was F and this was the horizontal factor F cos 60. So this F cos 60 will balance this force. So this force, friction force, will be same as F cos 60.
The coefficient of friction is 0.6. No,
Coefficient is
0.5.
0.5. 0.5 ही लिया भाई. 0.5. Okay, try to solve all other questions. What was the last topic in chemistry? Yes. Chemical equilibrium is done.
Yes, sir.
Chemical equilibrium is done. Redox is done. So we can do thermodynamics.
Yes, sir. Thermodynamics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the branch of chemistry as well as physics in which we study about macroscopic and microscopic properties of a system. So first of all, we will try to understand what is a system. A system is a specific portion of the universe on which we are going to study. And apart from that portion, whatever is left, that is known as surrounding. And when we add system with surrounding, we get universe. So we have three different part in thermodynamics: system, surrounding, and universe. Universe is equals to system plus surrounding. System is that specific portion on which we want to study. And apart from that, what is remaining is surrounding. And if you will club them, you will get universe. There are three types of system: isolated system, closed system, open system. In open system, heat energy as well as mass can exchange with the surrounding. In closed system, heat energy can exchange with the surrounding, but there will be no exchange of mass. And in isolated system, there will be no exchange of mass as well as energy with the surrounding. No system can be perfectly isolated system, but for a limited time range or for a limited interval of time, a system can behave as an isolated system. Understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now to study any system, we have certain laws in thermodynamics. And first one is zeroth law of thermodynamics. Zeroth law of thermodynamics states that if we have two different systems and these two different systems are in thermal equilibrium with the third system, then these two systems will also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. In simple words, it means if we have three systems A, B, and C, such that temperature of system A is equal to the temperature of system C, which means A and C are in thermal equilibrium. On the other hand, temperature of system B is equals to temperature of system C, which means B is also in thermal equilibrium with C system. In that case, we can conclude that temperature of system A will be equals to temperature of system B, which implies that system A and system B will also be in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is the statement for zeroth law of thermodynamics. Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Remember one more point, that the concept of temperature is given by zeroth law of thermodynamics. There may be a question like which law of thermodynamics gives the definition or concept of temperature. So concept of temperature is taken from zeroth law of thermodynamics. So zeroth law of thermodynamics is the basis for the concept of temperature. And what do we mean by thermal equilibrium? Thermal equilibrium means two systems have the same temperature, and when two systems will be at the same temperature, there will be no heat flow between them. And if there is no heat flow between two systems, then these two systems are said to be in thermal equilibrium. Next is work done in thermodynamics. In thermodynamics, work can be done on the system or work can be done by the system. Accordingly, we will have some sign convention, and you have to remember these sign convention while solving the question. If there is you are using wrong sign convention, answer will be definitely wrong. So you have to be very careful about the sign convention of the thermodynamics. So in thermodynamics, if work done on a system, this is about chemistry, work done on the system will be taken as positive, and work done by the system will be taken as negative. So first sign convention is, let's say this is system. Work done on the system will be positive. Work done by the system will be negative. Heat energy given to the system will be negative, and heat energy taken from the system will be positive. Energy that flows from one body to another body or from system to the surrounding on account of the temperature difference. Basically, here we are defining heat. What is heat? Heat is a form of energy which flow due to the temperature variation or temperature difference. So heat is a type of energy which can flow due to temperature difference. Understood? Then we have reversible process. Reversible process are the process which can go in both the direction, forward direction as well as in backward direction. And in reversible process, there will be a small change in external condition which will give a small change in the parameters of the process. Interesting point is that if we are having a reversible process, then its values of the parameters will be constant for a limited time range or for a very long time. Irreversible process means this is a type of process which cannot go in backward direction. It will be going in forward direction only. It cannot go in reverse direction. But reversible process are the process which can go in both the direction, forward direction as well as backward direction. What is the first law of thermodynamics? First law of thermodynamics is nothing but law of conservation of energy, which states that total energy of the system of an isolated system will be constant, or for an isolated system, total energy is conserved. Which means if we are supplying some heat energy to the system, this heat energy will be utilized in work done and to change the internal energy of the system. So the energy of a system in definite state is fixed and is independent of the method of formation of the system. If heat is supplied to a system capable of doing external work, then the quantity of heat absorbed by the system will be equal to the amount of work done plus change in its internal energy, which simply means overall heat energy Q given to the system will be equals to change in internal energy of the system plus work done on the system. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you are applying this concept again, you have to be careful about the sign convention. And sign convention is, if work is done on the system will be positive, work is done by the system will be negative, heat energy given to the system will be negative, heat energy taken from the system will be positive. Next point is internal energy. What is internal energy? Internal energy of a system is the sum of all type of energy of the constituent particles of the system. If there are certain number of constituent particles, and these constituent particles have certain type of energies, then all these energies will be added together to get overall internal energy of the system. Internal energy of the system is given by U or E, sometimes E, sometimes U, but in most of the cases we take U as internal energy. Another important point about internal energy is that internal energy is a state function. It is not a path function. In thermodynamics, we have two types of variables or two types of parameters, path function and state function. Path functions are the variables or the parameters which are dependent on the path taken by the system, while state functions are the variables which depends only on the initial and final position of the system. It doesn't matter how a system is going from its initial position to its final position. What path is taken by the system to go from one position to another position, that doesn't matter. Then these variables or parameters are set to be state function, and internal energy is one of them. Internal energy is a state function. It does not depend on the path taken by the system. It can be explained by taking an example of a ball. Let's say I have a ball and I have this ball at ground level, and I take this ball at the uh, higher level on a building, or I take it at, let's say, at 8th floor from the ground floor. Now there are different ways to take this ball from ground floor to 8th floor. Maybe I just took that ball and take straight to go to that floor, or maybe I take that ball and put it into the lift. Maybe I throw it, or any other technique I can use to take the ball from ground floor to floor number 8. In that case, there will be different path to take ball from one floor to another floor. But the overall energy of the ball, potential energy of the ball at ground level will be 0, and potential energy of the ball at floor number 8 will be something. This something amount of energy does not depend on the path taken by the ball. So it implies that potential energy is also a state function, because potential energy is independent of path taken by the system. Similarly, we have internal energy. Internal energy is a state function. It will only depend on the initial and final position of the system. Understood, or any doubt? Yes. Next point is concept of enthalpy. Enthalpy is basically a scientific word for energy, but enthalpy can have different meaning in different reference and context. In this case, enthalpy is an extensive thermodynamic property and is given by the symbol H. It is defined as the sum of internal energy and product of pressure and volume. So enthalpy H, this is very important formula. This is very important formula here. Enthalpy H is equals to internal energy plus P into V. Are you getting it? H is equals to U plus PV, where U is internal energy, PV can be taken as work done, and H is the enthalpy. Enthalpy is extensive property. Again, in thermodynamics, we have two types of property, intensive and extensive. Intensive properties are the properties which are independent of mass of the system. Intensive properties do not depend on the quantity of the matter in the system, while extensive properties are the properties which are dependent on mass, which means extensive properties are the properties which will depend on the quantity of the matter into the system. Are you getting it, or any doubt? Are you getting the concept of intensive and extensive property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, what do you think? Density of water, will it be extensive or intensive? Yes. Density of water, extensive or intensive? No answer. Okay. Okay. What do you think if I have a full bottle of water, what will be its density? And if I have a glass of water, what will be its density? Does the density change with the quantity of water, or the density of water will be same? Doesn't matter you have a bottle of water, or you have a glass of water, or you have a spoon of water. Does the density change, or it is same?
Sir, it remains same.
Density is same, sir.
It remains same, which means density of the water does not depend on the quantity of the matter, which means density of the water will be intensive property. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What do you think number of moles? Intensive or extensive?
Extensive.
Extensive, definitely extensive, because number of moles is given amount divided by molar mass. As you will increase the given amount, number of moles will increase. So this is the concept for intensive and extensive property. One more example. Boiling point of water. Intensive or extensive? Think about it.
Intensive.
Intensive. Next concept is enthalpy of formation. What do we mean by enthalpy of formation? Enthalpy of formation is the enthalpy change when 1 mole of the compound is formed from its constituent elements in their standard state. Standard state means commonly occurring state. And remember, enthalpy of formation is defined for 1 mole. If constituent particles are more than 1 mole, then you have to take care of the calculation. For example, carbon plus oxygen auto gives CO2, and enthalpy of formation in this case is minus 393.7 kilojoule per mole. So if I take here 2 mole of carbon, then what will be the enthalpy of formation? In that case, you have to multiply it by 2 moles. Are you getting it? Okay, so remember about the number of moles. Enthalpy of formation may be positive or negative. Enthalpy is nothing but energy change. Enthalpy of combustion. Enthalpy of combustion is the enthalpy change when 1 mole of a substance is completely burned in an excess amount of oxygen or air. Again, this is defined for 1 mole. If we are burning the fuel more than 1 mole, we have to multiply it accordingly. Enthalpy of neutralization, when there is a reaction between acid and base, acid and base nullify each other. They form H2 and salt along with some heat energy, and this energy is known as enthalpy of neutralization. Enthalpy of neutralization is the enthalpy change occurring when 1 gram equivalent of an acid react with a base to nullify it. There will be a direct question: if we have strong acid and strong base, what will be the enthalpy of neutralization? So the enthalpy of neutralization of a strong acid and a strong base is always equal to 57 kilojoule. 57 kilojoule. And if we are having one of them as weak, in that case, enthalpy change will be less than 57 kilojoule. Understood? Understood? What is enthalpy of fusion? Enthalpy of fusion is the change in enthalpy which occurs when 1 mole of a substance changes from solid to the liquid state at a fixed temperature. Enthalpy of vaporization again will be the change in enthalpy when 1 mole of liquid is converted into vapor at fixed temperature. Enthalpy of sublimation will be the enthalpy change which will occur when 1 mole of a solid is directly converted into gaseous phase. Understood? And this is important result. This one, enthalpy of sublimation of a solid is equal to the sum of enthalpy of fusion plus enthalpy of vaporization, because if solid is gets converted into gaseous phase, it can be taken as solid first will be converted into liquid and then it will be converted into gas. So there will be some amount of enthalpy change here, delta H1, and some will be here delta H2. Let's say this is delta H sublimation. So delta H sublimation will be equals to delta H fusion plus delta H vaporization. Are you getting it? Okay. Next is Hess law of constant heat sublimation submission. This is very important concept. This concept helps us to calculate the enthalpy changes when during a chemical reaction we go from one phase to another phase. The amount of heat involved in a chemical reaction is constant whether the reaction takes place in one step or in more than one step. So if there is a reaction which is taking place in more steps like A to B, B to C, and C to D, so overall change in the enthalpy or overall energy of the reaction will be constant, which means delta H will be summation of all the enthalpy changes taking place in all the possible steps. So delta H will be equals to delta H1 plus delta H2 plus delta H3. Understood? Next is heat of combustion. Heat of combustion of an element or a compound is the change in enthalpy delta H when 1 gram molecule is nothing but mole. When 1 gram molecule of the compound is completely oxidized. Completely oxidized means it is completely burnt. Are you getting it? Heat of combustion. Interesting point is combustion reaction are always exothermic. So heat of combustion will be negative because in case of heat release, delta H is negative. In case of heat absorption, delta H is positive. Next is heat of formation. Heat of formation is the standard heat of formation. Standard heat of formation of a compound is the enthalpy change for the reaction in which 1 mole of the compound is formed from its element at 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atm. So heat of formation is the enthalpy change which is taking place during the formation of a compound from its constituent elements at standard conditions. And what are these conditions? Temperature is 25 degrees Celsius and pressure is 1 atm. Heat of neutralization. The heat of neutralization of an acid is the enthalpy change for the reaction in which 1 gram equivalent of the acid is treated with 1 gram base, and amount of heat energy released is 13.7 kilocalorie. This is for strong acid and strong base. If we are having one of them as weak, the heat of neutralization will be less than 13.7 kilocalorie. Understood? Yes, understood, or any doubt? Okay. Applications of Hess law. Hess law can be used to find out heat of formation, or any other enthalpy change can also be calculated using Hess law. Understood? Heat of formation, it is given by an example. Let's say You want to find out rate of formation of CO, carbon monoxide. And we have carbon plus CO2 as carbon plus O2 as CO2 and CO2 as CO plus O. So in this case, in first step, CO2 is formed, and in the second step, CO2 is converted into CO. So the heat of formation of carbon monoxide CO according to Hess law will be according to these two steps. Yes or no? If you look at these two steps, let's say here E1 is used, or let me write it as delta H1, and this one is E2. So heat of formation Q will be E1 minus E2. Understood? Yes, understood, or any doubt? Okay. Next point is bond energy. What is bond energy? Bond energy is the energy to break 1 mole of same type of covalent bond. So if we have 1 mole of same type of covalent bond and we want to break them, then the amount of energy utilized to break them is known as bond energy. And this is given by the bond energy may be referred to as the heat of formation of bond. Delta H reaction is equals to bond energy data used for formation of the bond to be taken as negative plus bond energy data used for dissociation of the bond to be taken as positive. So this is the formula to calculate enthalpy change of a reaction in terms of bond formation and bond dissociation, bond breaking. Greater will be the number of bonds, greater will be the bond energy, which means bond energy for triple bond is greatest, then for double bond, and finally for single bond. Bond will be that much stronger as much energy is utilized. If to break a bond, you are using a great amount of energy, it implies that the bond which you are breaking is a strong bond. Next point is entropy. What is entropy? Entropy is a thermodynamic quantity which is used to measure the degree of disorderness. Greater the disorder, greater will be the entropy. So degree of disorder is given by entropy. Since in solid state, all the constituent particles are well arranged and they are not permissible to leave their place as compared to liquid and gas. So entropy in solid state will be least possible. Then it will be in liquid and then it will be in gaseous. So greater amount of entropy is present in gaseous state than in liquid state and lowest possible in solid state. About universe, the entropy of the universe always increases in the course of every natural change. So it doesn't matter in the universe where there is any change happening, whether it is a chemical reaction or it is a any other experiment, or you are using your mobile phone, your AC is on, doesn't matter. If there are certain changes, it will increase the entropy of the universe. So entropy of the universe is always increasing. Understood? First question is, when a liquid is converted into vapors, there is no change in enthalpy, no change in entropy, decrease in enthalpy, increase in enthalpy. So what do you think? When a liquid is converted into vapors, then there will be increase in enthalpy. Yes? Yes or no? Next point is, the total heat content of a system is known as, total heat content of a system is known as enthalpy. Enthalpy is nothing but total energy content or total heat content of a system. So it must be enthalpy. Understood or any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Next is, in the reaction CO2 plus H2 gives CO plus H2O, delta H is 2.8 kilojoule, then delta H represents heat of formation, heat of reaction, heat of solution, or heat of combustion. In this case, CO2 plus H2 gives CO plus H2O. So this will be heat of reaction, because there is no solution formation, there is no combustion, and no formation of any compound from the constituent elements are taking place. So it is a chemical reaction, which implies that this will be heat of a reaction. So option B will be the correct option. Understood? Next is, the heat of neutralization of a strong acid with a strong base is equals to 13.7 kilocalorie. This will be 13.7. Next, internal energy of the elements is assigned a value of calorie per mole at standard states. Internal energy of the elements is assigned a value of at standard state. Okay. If elements are at standard state, then internal energy of the elements is assigned zero value. It will be 0 calorie per mole. It is a fact. If we are having elements in its standard form, natural form, then we take their internal energy as 0. Understood? The apparatus used for measuring the heat change, that is calorimeter. So D option will be correct. What was the last topic in maths? We were doing P and C in maths, right?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in P and C? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, let's take binomial theorem. Binomial theorem is basically a concept which is used to expand higher power of a binomial expression. Binomial expression is an expression or algebraic expression which has only two terms. Like if we have a plus b raised to power 0, it will be 1. If we have a plus b raised to power 1, it will be same as a plus b. And if we have a plus b raised to power 2, it will be a square plus 2ab plus b square. Similarly, it will be for a plus b raised to power 3 raised to power 4 and so on. We can deal with a plus b raised to power 1, 2, 3, 4 also. But if there are higher powers, like a plus b raised to power 10, then it will not be possible for us to deal with it in terms of cube or power 4. So we need a more precise concept which can deal with such problems in which we have to solve higher power of a binomial expression. And for that we have binomial theorem. Before binomial theorem, we have a concept of factorial notation. Factorial function or factorial notation. Factorial notation or function is given by n factorial, which implies that it is the continuous product of natural number. If we have 0 factorial, its value is taken as 1. 1 factorial is 1. 2 factorial is 2 into 1 continuous product. 3 factorial will be 3 into 2 factorial or 3 into 2 into 1. Similarly, 4 factorial will be 4 into 3 factorial or 4 into 3 into 2 factorial or 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Interesting point is you can stop the factorial wherever you want. You just have to put the factorial on that part of the multiplication. Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have to remember the values of factorial till 10. 0 factorial is 1, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2, 3 factorial is 6, 4 factorial is what? 4 factorial is 24. Similarly, 5 factorial, 120 and so on. Next point is how to expand a binomial with higher power. So if we have, let's say we have x plus y raised to power n, then this can be expanded as summation NCR x raised to power r, y raised to power n minus r, and we will take r from 0 to n. If you will rearrange it, it will look like NC0 x raised to 0 y raised to r plus NC1 x raised to 1 y raised to n minus 1. Then we have, sorry, this will be n. Then we have NC2. This will be x raised to 2 and y raised to n minus 2 and so on. So this is the way to expand higher power of a binomial x plus y raised to power n. N may be any positive integer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. There are some properties in the expansion of x plus y raised to power n. The first property is that if you will look at the number of terms in this expansion, there will be total number of terms is equals to n plus 1. So whatever will be the higher power or whatever will be the power of the binomial, total number of terms will be one more than that power. If I have a plus b raised to power 0, number of terms will be 1. If we have a plus b raised to power 1, answer will be a plus b, which means 2 term. If we have a plus b raised to power 2, it will be a square plus 2ab plus b square, which means 3 terms. So from this reasoning, we can clearly state that in binomial expansion, total number of terms will be equals to power plus 1, that is n plus 1. Second interesting and important property in the expansion is that if we will select any term randomly, then the sum of the power in these terms of variable x and y will always be a constant value, and that will be n. So if you will add the power of y with power of x, it will be the highest possible power, that is n. If you will add n minus 1 plus 1, it will again be 1. If you will add n minus 2 plus 2, it will again be n. So second important property in binomial expansion is that in any term, any randomly selected term, the sum of power of binomials in the expansion will be equal to the highest power of the binomial, that is n. Are you getting it? Are you getting it, or any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Next important point in binomial expansion is that binomial coefficients are symmetric. In binomial expansion, we have NC0, NC1, NC2, and so on till NCn. These are known as binomial coefficients. NC0 is a binomial coefficient, NCn is also, NC2 is also. So these binomial coefficients are symmetric, which means they have same value. And this same value is due to a property of the binomial coefficient. This property is due to combination, which is NCR will be same as NCn minus R, which means NC0 will have same value as NCn, and NC1 will have same value as NCn minus 1, NC2 will have same value as NCn minus 2, which implies that the binomial coefficients are symmetric and will have same value, which means first binomial coefficient from starting and the binomial coefficient from the ending will have the same value. Binomial coefficient or the second binomial coefficient from starting NC1 and the second binomial coefficient from the ending, that will be NCn minus 1, will also have the same value. This is another property which implies the symmetric behavior of binomial coefficients. Understood, or any doubt in it? Yes? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Next point is to find out the general term. But before that, if we have x plus y raised to power n, we write it as summation NCR x raised to power r, y raised to power n minus r. R starts from 0 to n. What will happen if we have x minus y raised to power n? In case of x minus y raised to power n, binomial expansion will be same. But we have to be careful about the sign now. It will be from r equals to 0 to n, NCR x raised to power r and minus y raised to power n minus r. In that case, we can write it as summation r equals to 0 to n minus 1 raised to power n minus r, NCR x raised to power r and y raised to power n minus r. In other words, we state it as if it is odd, the sign will be negative of the expansion. and if it is positive, the sign will be sorry. If the value of r is even, sign will be positive, and if the value of r is negative, sign will be sorry. If the value of r is even, sign will be positive. To understand it better, I should write it in this way. Let's say this is x plus y raised to power n is equals to NCR x raised to power n minus r and y raised to power r. In that case, this will be far more easier. R equals to 0 to n. This time it will be minus 1 raised to power r. NCR x raised to power n minus r, y raised to power r. Now, if you will look at the behavior of r is the power with minus 1. So r either will be odd or it will be even. If r is even, it will be plus sign, and if r is odd, sign will be negative. So we can have both the expansion, x plus y as well as x minus y. In case of minus, we have to be careful about the plus sign and minus sign while writing the expansion. Understood? Understood or any doubt? If you want to find out the general term of the expansion or binomial expansion, then this general term is given by tr plus 1 is equals to ncr x raised to power n minus r, y raised to power r. This is the general term of the expansion from starting. If you are interested to find out any term from the ending, then you have to interchange x and y. So this will be y plus x raised to power n, and they will be interchanged. This will go here and this will go here. So this will be ncr y raised to power n minus r and x raised to power r. This will give you the any term from the ending. So to obtain any term from the ending, you just have to flip x and y in the expansion. Understood? Now from this expansion, we have an interesting result. Let's say x plus y raised to power n is given by nc0 x raised to power n y raised to power 0 plus nc1 x raised to power n minus 1 y raised to power 1 plus s and so on. If you will take x as 1 and y as x, the expression will be 1 plus x raised to power n, and in that case this will be nc0, and in place of x you will have 1 and in place of y you will have 0. So this will be nc0 plus nc0 into x raised to 0 plus nc1 x raised to 1 plus nc2 x raised to 2 plus s till n. So this will be the standard expansion of 1 plus x raised to power n, which is very, very useful. 1 plus x raised to power n will be nc0 x raised to 0 plus nc1 x raised to 1 plus nc2 x raised to 2 plus s. And if you want to write it in general form, it will be summation ncr x raised to power r, where r starts from 0 to n. This will be the general term for 1 plus x raised to power n. Another interesting point in 1 plus x raised to power n is that if you will put x as 1, you will get a standard result. If you will put x as 1, this will be 2 raised to power n. And on the right hand side, you will have nc0 plus nc1 plus nc2 plus dash dash ncn. This is known as sum of binomial coefficients. So sum of binomial coefficients from nc0 to ncn will be 2 raised to power n. In these binomial coefficients, some of the binomial coefficients are odd and some of them are even. If you will separate, it is observed that half of the terms will be even, half of the terms will be odd, which means 2 raised to power n will be divided into 2 equal parts. So we will divide 2 raised to power n by factor 2 and we will get another one result. That is, if you are interested in finding if you are interested in finding the values of even only NC0 plus NC2 plus NC4 plus test test test, this will be same as the value of odd binomial coefficients NC1 plus NC3 plus NC5 plus test test test, and this will be equals to 2 raised to power n divided by 2, which will be 2 raised to power n minus 1. Another interesting point is, if you will put x as -1 in this equation, there will be again another result, that will be 1 minus 1, which is 0 raised to power something will be 0. And on the right hand side, we will have even minus odd, NC0 minus NC1 plus NC2 minus NC3. So we will have even minus odd. And if you will take even minus odd equals to 0, even will be equals to odd, which is again imply the same fact, that even is equals to odd is equals to 2 raised to power n minus 1. So these are some standard results from the binomial expansion. And if there are certain questions regarding the sum of the binomial coefficients, you can substitute the value of x into the expression, that will give you the answer directly without solving it. Are you getting it or not? Yes, any doubt in it? Okay, so we have done factorial, binomial expansion, that is binomial theorem, important points, general term, TR plus 1. Next one is middle term. If you want to find out the middle term of the binomial expansion, then you have to look at the value of n. If n is odd, then total number of terms will be, sorry, if n is even, then total number of terms will be odd. And if power is n, total number of terms will be n plus 1. If n is even, n plus 1 will be odd. And in case of odd, middle term is n plus 1 by 2. That is n plus 2 by 2. So if n is even and you want to find out the middle term, you can find out n by 2 plus 1th term. This will be the middle term. So in place of r, you can have n by 2. So in case of general term, in place of r, we will have n by 2 plus 1. So in place of r in the expression, we will have n by 2. Remaining other will be as it is. If n is odd, in that case, n plus 1 will be even, and there will be two middle terms in that case. One will be n plus 1 by 2th term, and another one will be n by 2 plus n plus 1 by 2 plus 1th term. That will be the another one. So in case of odd, there are two possible middle terms in the binomial expansion. Next is properties of binomial coefficients. I already told you NC0 plus NC1 plus test test NCn will be 2 raised to power n. In this expression, you can note that n is not written. It is simply 0, C1, C2, C3. C1, C0, C1, C2, C3 is same as NC0, NC1. N is not mentioned here, but it is there. Second, if you will take even one side and odd one side, it will be half, 2 raised to power n minus 1. That is the second property. Then we have these properties, C1 plus 2, C2 plus 3, C3 plus dash dash, n times Cn. It will be n into 2 raised to power n minus 1 and so on. You need not to remember all these properties. Just remember these two. In your course, question will be from here. Understood? Some other important expansions are given. You have to remember them. 1 minus x raised to power minus 1 is 1 plus x square plus x cube plus dash dash dash. 1 plus x raised to power minus 1 will be 1 minus x plus x square. You have to remember these expansions. Understood or any doubt? Next point is greatest value of NCR. This is again an important question. If you want to find out the greatest value of NCR, in that case, R has to be n by 2 if n is even, and it has to be n minus 1 by 2 or n plus 1 by 2 in case of odd. So if you are looking for the greatest value of NCR, look at the n. If n is even, take r as n by 2, and if n is odd, take r as n plus 1 by 2 or n minus 1 by 2. Understood? There will be some question of the form like find the term independent of variable. Like we have x plus y raised to power n, and I want to know which term will be independent of x and y. In that case, I will write the general term tr plus 1, that will be ncr x raised to power n minus r and y raised to power r. And then to make the expansion independent of x and y, I have to take the power of x as 0 and power of y as 0 simultaneously. If power of x is 0, it will be converted into 1. And if power of y is also 0, it will also be converted into 1. In that case, we will have a term which will be independent of x and y. Or in other words, that particular term will be a constant value independent of x and y. Are you getting it? Are you getting it or any doubt? Okay. Next question is find the cube of 999. So we can write it as 1000 minus 1, that is 10 raised to power 3 minus 1 raised to power 3. We will expand it using binomial and simplify it. Next question is important. Find the middle term or the terms in the expansion of x by a minus a by x raised to power 10. Since here the value of n is 10, which is even, number of terms will be 11, odd, so middle term will be 11 plus 1 by 2, that is 12 by 2, that is 6. So I have to find out T6. I have to find out T6. And T6 can be given as T5 plus 1. So answer will be 10C5 x by a raised to power n minus r, that is 10 minus 5, and y raised to power r, that is 5 again. And on simplification, we will get minus 252. Are you getting how to find out the middle term? In the next example, we have odd. N is odd, so n plus 1 will be even. If n plus 1 is even, there are two middle terms. One will be n plus 1 by 2, that is 9 plus 1, 10 by 2, that is fifth. And another one will be sixth one. So in this case, we will have T5 and T6. For T5, we will have T4 plus 1, and for T6, we will have T5 plus 1. Understood or any doubt? Yes, is there any doubt? Next question is, find the coefficient of x raised to power 4 in the expansion of. Expansion is 2 minus x plus 3x square. And we want to have the coefficient of x raised to power 4 in this case. To solve it, you just have to simplify it. There is no shortcut for it. We can write it as 2 minus x in bracket 1 minus 3x. So we will take these two terms. We will take these two terms. This will be a and this complete will be b. This will be a minus b raised to power 6. So on expansion, this will be how much? This will be 6c0, 2 raised to power 6 minus 0, and x into 1 minus 3x raised to power 0. Then in next case, it will be 6c1, 2 raised to power 5, x into 1 minus 3x, plus 6c1, sorry, 6c2. It will be 2. 2 raised to power 4, x square into 1 minus 3x square, and so on. And then we will look in which term we will get x raised to power 4. In first term, we will not get x raised to power 4. In second, we will not get x raised to power 4. In this case, third one, we can get x raised to power 4. Because when you will multiply 1 minus 3x to the whole square, there will be a factor with x square. And when this x square will be in multiplication, we will get x raised to power 4. And when x square will go in multiplication inside the bracket, this expression will also go inside the bracket. So we will have 6c2 into 2 raised to power 4 into, this will be 9. When you will square it to get power 4, this will be 9. Another will be, in this case, fourth. Fourth, we have 6c3 6c3, 2 raised to power 3, and x cube into 1 minus 3x to the whole cube. If you will open x minus 3x to the whole cube, you will get a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b. And in that case, we will have a square b means we will have x square and simple x. So x square multiplied with 3 will give 5. We are not interested in power 5. So we will take the expression with normal x. And then we will multiply this bracket inside it. So this will be the coefficient of x raised to power 4 from fourth term. And similarly, we will have it from fifth term. And then we will add them. Are you getting it, or I have to simplify it for you? Yes. Are you getting it? Try to solve the first part. Yes. Anyone? Any idea? How will you solve it? The number of integral terms in the expression of 5 raised to power 1 by 2 plus 7 raised to power 1 by 8, overall power 1024. So to solve this question, let's write the general term. This will be CR 5 raised to power 1 by 2 raised to power 1024 minus R, and 7 raised to power 1 by 8 raised to power R. So this will be 5 raised to power 1024 minus R by 2, and this will be 7 raised to power R by 8. Understood? So the number of integral terms in this expansion will be how much? Now integral terms means in the power of 5 we must have integral value, and in the power of 7 we also have integral possible value, which means this expression or this value has to be an integer, this value also has to be an integer. So 1024 minus R by 2 must be an integer, and R by 8 will also be an integer. And we are taking power 1024. So 1024 means the value of R can vary from 0 to 1024. If you will take 0, this will be an integer. If you will take 1, this will not be an integer. In this case, you have to take multiples of 8. So this will be 0. Possible values of R in this case will be 0, 8, 16, 24, 32, and so on. Similarly here, if R is the multiple of 8, it will also be a multiple of 2. Am I right? Yes or no? If R is a multiple of 8, then R will also be a multiple of 2. Yes or no? Yes. So this will be how much if you will divide it? 5, 1, 2 minus R by 2. Since R is a multiple of 8, so R will also be a multiple of 2. And if it is a multiple of 2, it will be a, I think, perfect number. If you will divide 1024 by 8, is it divisible by 8? Yes, it is divisible by 8. So this will be here. Last term will be 1024. Now you can find out the total number of terms starting from 8 to 1024. So 1024 will be equals to A plus n minus 1 into D 8. And this will be, you can divide it. And if you will divide 1024 by 8, this will be 128 is equals to 1 plus n minus 1. So n will be 128, which means there are 128 terms which are divisible by 8, and we are left here with 0. I took the series from 8, 16, so 0 is left. So one term will be this, 129 will be the total number of terms. Are you getting it? Yes or no? Okay. Next, if the sum of coefficient in the expansion of a plus b raised to power n is 1024, then the greatest coefficient in the expansion is. So if you look at it, it is sum of coefficients in the expansion, which means this will be NC0 plus NC1 plus dash dash NCN, and this is 1024. 2 raised to power n is 1024. 2 raised to power n will be, what will be 1024 in terms of two factors? Check. Yes, 1024. You have to convert it into powers of 2. What will be the answer? No one is telling. Okay, I will convert it. 1024. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will be 2 raised to power 10. So n will be 10. Now if n is 10, what will be the greatest coefficient? So for greatest coefficient we have here, for greatest coefficient we have here n by 2, if n is even. So this will be 10C2. Sorry, this will be 10 by 2. 10 by 2 means 5. So answer will be 10C5. 10C5 will be 10 into 9 into 8 into 7. 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 divided by 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 3 2 ja 6, 4 2 ja 8, 5 2 ja 10. So this will be how much? 2 into 2, 4 into 9, 36. 36 into 7, 7 6 are 42. 252. So answer will be A option. Are you getting it? in general aptitude, we were doing series questions, right? Letter series is done. Wrong letter series, repeat series. Number series, word analogy. What is the concept of number series? In this series, there will be given to us certain numbers and we have to look what is the logical reasoning between these numbers. It may be anything. Again, there is no specific formula. You have to look at the series and you have to observe it. What is the logical reasoning in it? It may be conjugative, odd or even numbers, prime numbers, square, cube of some numbers, or it may be sum or product, or it may be any other relationship. For example, if you will look at the first one, in the following questions, select the numbers from the given options for completing the given series. It is 7776, then 1296, then 216, then 36, then 6. So if you will look at it, it will be 6 into 6, 36 into 6, yes or no? Into 6, into 6. Which means if you divide it by 6, divide it by 6, divide it by 6, divide it by 6. So next, it must be divided by 6. So answer will be what? 1. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
What will be the next one? 29282, 2662, 242, 22, and then what? Okay. If you will look at here, this is divisible by 11 times. 22 will divide 242 by 11 times. Yes or no? This will also divide it by 11. Six two divided by 242. Yes, 11. Which means they are obtained by dividing 11, 11, 11, and 11. So if you will divide here 11, you will get 2. Answer will be B option. Yes. What will be the next? Third. 1, 2, 2, 4, 16, 6, 5, 5, 3, 6. If we look at it as 1, 1 into 2 will be 2. 1 into 2 into 2 will be 4. Then 1 into 2 into 2 into 4 will be 16. Yes or no? And according to this series, it must be 1 into 2 into 2 into 4 into 16. Which means 16 into 16, that is 256. Right? So answer will be 256. What will be answer in this case? 3, 5, 9, 15, 23 and 45. Okay. If I look here, this is plus 2. This is plus 4. This is how much? Plus 6. This is how much? Plus 8. Am I right? So in the next, it will be plus 10 because series is going with 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So 23 plus 10 will be 33. Answer will be 33. Are you getting it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. What will be the answer for question number 5?
Option B.
It's, I think, multiple of 7.
Yes, sir.
7 3 ja, 7 5 ja, 7 7 ja, 7 9 ja, then 7 11 ja, because odd times we are multiplying. So answer will be 77. 6. 10, 14, 23, 39, 64 and 149. This is 4. This is how much?
9.
9. And this
16.
16. Is there any series between 4, 9, 16?
Hmm.
4, 5, 9, 9.
15. The next one is
39 and 64.
oh,
Difference between 39 and 64.
25.
25. So is there any series 4, 9, 16, 25? I think it is going like 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. So in the next, it will be 6 square. That is 36. Which means I should add 36 in it. So 64, 36 will give how much?
100.
100 will be the answer in that case. D option will be correct. Yes. Last one is for you. Tell me the answer. Yes. What will be the answer for 7th? 6, 24, 29, 116, 121, and 489.
Sir, option number B, 484.
How?
Sir, by multiplying 121 into 4.
Which means
Sir,
you are
6 fours are 24. Then we
yes,
added 24 plus 5.
6
We get
4
29.
jar 24, right? 24 plus 5 29. Then again multiply with 4
Yes, sir, we get 116. And after
and then add
after
5.
adding 5.
Then again multiply 4, which will give 484. Yes. Next, word analogy. It is very easy. You just have to select the relation between two given words. If hunger is to food, then thirst will be to what? Water.
Water.
Hunter is to gun. Writer, pen.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Wool, sheep. Silk, silkworm. Yes. Food, stomach. Fuel, engine.
Engine.
Water, sand. Ocean,
Island. No.
water is to sand, then ocean is to
Waves.
how?
Is there water in a sand? That's why
Okay.
ocean in wave. Wave.
Water is to sand, then ocean is to waves.
Sir, option A, island.
Island.
Because water and sand, it's like a water body and what do you call it? Store, I guess. So ocean and island would be related
Maybe.
in that sense. Yeah.
Fifth is sea. The related words are nearly opposites. Water, sand, then ocean, desert. Next, adult, baby, flower. Bird? Yes,
Yes.
it must be bird. Let me check. Yes, sixth is B. Writer, reader. Writer is to reader. Producer?
Consumer.
No. Writer is to reader. Producer, consumer.
Yes, sir.
Or creator.
Consumer.
Consumer.
Consumer. Okay. Seventh is D. Consumer. Entrance, exist. Loyalty. Entrance means opposite, right? So loyalty will be what? Fidelity. What is the meaning of fidelity? treachery. Fidelity.
Sir, I think it's option A.
Option A. 1 minute. Let me check the meaning of fidelity. Fidelity.
Trickery means
Fidelity is same as faithfulness. Means this is loyalty. Another word for loyalty. So it must
trickery
be
means
A
causing
then.
harm to someone. Yeah.
Yes, yes. It must be A then. So it will be treachery. Betrayal of trust. Yes. A will be correct. Entrance exists, loyalty to treachery. Mother is to maternal, then father,
Paternal.
Paternal.
paternal. 10th, pearl to necklace, flower to
Bouquet.
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 Okay.
10th will be D. Number analogy. In number analogy, the relationship between given numbers is detected and then applied to the second part to find the missing number. This relationship between the numbers can be based on any of the following patterns. Numbers can be odd, even, prime numbers. Numbers can be multiples of one number, can be squares or cubes. Again, there is no specific formula or logic. You just have to look at the given question and then decide what is the logic and then apply the same logic to get the missing number. So if we have 1 to 1 1, what will be 2 to
22.
22? Second, 1 by 7 is to 1 by 14, 7 to the 14. Then what will be 1 by 9 to 1 by 18?
Option D.
D option. 0.16 to 0.0016 means it is divided by 100. So 1.02 divided by 100 will give what? 0.0102?
Yes, option C.
C option. What should be the answer for fourth? Question number 4.
Option D.
Option D. How
Yes,
will
sir.
be
442. Sir, the difference between 834 and 663 is 221. So if we add 221 and 221, it's 442.
442? So the logic is of difference.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fifth, 16 is to 0.16. Then means divided by 100.
Option A.
Option A.
Option A.
Okay. Odd one out. In this type of classification, 4 words are given, out of which 3 are almost same in matter or meaning or in something, and 1 word is totally different from the remaining 3. We have to select that separate word, that odd word. Directions. In each of the following questions, 3 words are alike in some manner. Spot the odd one out. Green, red, orange, color. Color.
Yes.
Stable, whole, canoe, stay. ये क्या वर्ड होता है भाई? कहाँ गया?
I think option D.
ये वर्ड क्या होता है? मुझे तो यही नहीं मालूम. Stable, whole. Anyone?
क्या होता है?
सर मतलब ये आग का पार्ट होता है, थोड़ा दुखता है.
Yes.
आग का पार्ट होता है. It's part of eye.
अच्छा.
The rest of the three are like homes now. For stable is for horse.
Hmm. These are the places basically for someone to live.
Yes, sir.
Third,
Skin.
nose, eyes, teeth, skin.
Skin.
C.
Skin.
I think, sir, because option A, B, and C are we can sense the feelings, right? Like from eyes you can see. Teeth is not.
Nose, eyes, and skin. And teeth. Okay. What do you think? What is the logic? I think these are the nose, eyes, and skin are what do you call in biology?
Sense organs.
Yes, sense organs, and teeth is not. So D will be correct. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we have Venus, Moon, Mars, and Pluto.
No, moon.
Moon.
Moon. How?
Because of
Yes.
Because
Sir,
moon is
all of them are
Saturn.
planets other than moon.
Yes, and Moon is Moon.
Yes, sir.
Fifth, happy, gloomy, lively, and cheerful.
C.
lively.
Lively.
How?
Because of happy, cheerful, gloomy is relatable.
And lively is not in that
And
sense.
Sir, can you check?
Okay. First is
Sir, it's
C,
gloomy.
second is C, third is D, fourth is B, and fifth is B. All others are expressions of joy. Fifth is B. Gloomy. What is the meaning of gloomy?
Sir,
Gloomy
something
is,
that makes us feel sad.
yes. Gloomy is depressing and frightening. And other three words are for the joy. Three of the following four in each question are alike in a certain way and so form a group. Select the group of letters that does not belong to that group. A,
Sir, option
C,
B.
A, C, E, G, I, K, V, X, Z, and L, O, R.
Option B, sir.
Okay, how?
Sir, it's a pattern basically. A, B, C, D, E. So B and D are cancelled in that thing. G, I, K में G, H, I, J, K. So H and J are cut. So that's how the pattern goes.
So B will be
Option
the,
B actually. Yes, sir.
okay. Yes, B is the correct option. Seventh, RST in reverse direction. JKL.
Option
Option
C.
C, sir.
D.
It should be
FGH.
OPQ.
Yes. OPQ. So it FGH, in place of FGH, it has to be what? A, B, C, D, E.
Sir, it should be option C because OQP is not in.
Yes, yes, option C, because rest others are in reverse direction. RST,
Yes.
JKL, FGH, but in C it must be OPQ, but it is
Yes, sir.
OQP. So correct will be C. Next,
Option A, sir.
EFLMKJSR. What is the logic?
Sir, ML are in order. FE is not in order. Where GH in order, JS is in order, WX is in order. All the rest are in order except A. So basically,
GH in order, XY in order, RS in order, but MN is not there.
no,
So
sir.
A option.
Like, yeah.
For 8, yes, A option. Next, 9th.
Option B.
Option B. How?
Sir, B and C are not like very close to OP. All other are close in alphabetical order. That's the logic.
In which option? B.
Yes, in option B, sir. B, O, P, C. B and C are very far away. No?
Yes,
From
PK,
OP.
PR, and PS. Yes. 9th. 9th is D. And the logic is in each group, OP is common and two corner alphabets are in natural order. JK,
Yes, sir,
BC,
understood.
QR, and TS. 10th. Yes, what will be the answer for 10th? D, small f, H.
Option D.
Option D, sir.
Option D, why? Because L is small.
Yes, sir.
In rest of them, the first letter is in capital.
Yes.
Okay. Option D. और कराऊं मैं, कर लेंगे क्वेश्चन आप? What is the more simple? Yeah, could we move to the next topic, or you want to solve some more questions?
No, sir. Next topic is fine. We'll solve it.
Next concept is coding and decoding. Do you know this concept?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, in this concept, letters will be given certain numbers with some logic. That logic will be unknown. You just have to find out the logic. And then according to that logic, you will be given another word and you have to convert that number to a new code. For example, here we have a word MUSK, which has a code in numbers 146816. Then according to this logic, what will be the code for number 0? Now you have to find out, you have to search out what is the logic of coding this word as this in numbers. And if you will find out that logic, then we can apply that logic on the word ZERO and we will select the code. So what do you think? MUSK, what is the logic here? To solve the questions of coding and decoding, you have to remember the rank of the letters. So let me write here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and X, Y, and Z. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Now, we have MUSK, which is coded as 146816. If you will take it in reverse direction, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Now, if you will look at MUSK, M is 14
B.
in reverse. M is 14 in reverse. U is 14 in reverse. U is what?
6.
6. And
Six.
S is 8 in reverse.
8.
And K is 16 in
16.
reverse.
Then
Means,
option B is the answer.
Option
yes,
B.
yes, means we have to give the number in reverse direction. So Z will be 1 in reverse. And there are 3 options with 1. So D is not the correct option. Then we have E. E in reverse will have 22. So there is only one option with 22. Correct option will be B. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? So this is the logic of coding and decoding. How will you solve second question? BAD is coded as
Sir,
7.
option A.
HIS
सर अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर को बस ऐड किया उन्होंने.
ऐड किया हुआ है. यस, BAD. So 2 plus 1 3 plus 4 7. Similarly HIS. So LOW. So we will add them, right? L is
50 है सर.
12. L is 12, O is 15. So 12, 15 will be 27 and W is 23. 27 and 23,
50.
50. So answer will be 50. Will you be able to solve?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
कल कोई दूसरे टीचर आके लेक्चर लेंगे, मेरा एग्जाम है, उन्हें बता देना क्या क्या टॉपिक हुए है ना।
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.